Flowcharting 101, Starting Raptor, a 15-minute video by Gary Carter. My objectives here are to introduce Raptor. I want to show you the symbols and how they are the same symbols for flowcharting that you would use if you're doing most any kind of flowchart, especially for programming. And then I want to show the master console in Raptor and the run button. How do you run a Raptor program? So I'm going to take a quick look here. With this, you can't do anything with Raptor till you install it. So I want you to go to Google, and I want you to do a search for Raptor free download. And make sure you use the Martin Carlisle site. If you don't, you just never know whether you're going to get a virus or not. But you want to complete the download and then install Raptor. That's all there is to it. And when you do, you're going to get this, something like this. And this is actually one that I've actually started something in here. I'm going to take two numbers here, and I'm going to add 20 and 5, 20 plus 5, and I'm going to put it into a memory location called answer. Answer is actually a variable for me, and you'll notice that in some flowcharting tools like Flowgorithm, you must declare your variable, but in Raptor, you don't have to declare your variable. Answer will be it will be set up as a variable as I use it. I call that variable declaration on the fly. And then once I enter the value of 20 plus 5 into answer, once I enter that value into answer, then I'm going to do a put and answer. And what put is just another way of saying display that on the screen, and we'll talk about the console a little bit in a minute. This is the output symbol, and this is the assignment symbol. What a way to start. Again, these symbols, the rectangle, the parallelogram, a flow line, if you were doing this with pencil and paper, you can draw these symbols and you can represent a flowchart. The rectangle represents the assignment, like I did the math of adding two numbers together, and the parallelogram represents both input and output. Now, Raptor and Flowgorithm both have a slightly different symbol that will show a difference between input and output, but no big deal. And then the flow line tells you what direction you're going in your program. On the left edge of Raptor, you're going to find those symbols for programming. The symbols, the rectangle for assignment, the call symbol, input, output, the selection, and loop. That's not a whole lot of symbols. And what that really means is flowcharting doesn't have a lot to learn about the tools themselves. It's how you use the tools that makes the big difference. This is the master console, or the console window, and this is where your output's going to show up in a Raptor program. And then you have two buttons that I want to emphasize here. One is the run button. The run button will run the program more or less from start to end, and the step button will run the program in slow motion and one symbol at the time. Now, the step button is very good and beneficial to the beginning programmer. As you're just setting up a project, actually it's good for anybody. It helps you if you're trying to show somebody, if you're trying to remember what you did, you can run your program in slow motion with the step button and think about each action as it occurs. Great addition to your programming. Now I'm going to step out to Raptor and I'm going to do a quick demo. Here we go. This is Raptor, and you'll notice that Raptor has a start and an end symbol already on the flow surface as you start it up. When you start up, you have pull-down menus up here that you can navigate and work through. Actions for Raptor, you've got your symbols over here on the left, and Raptor starts with main. Now, you have three different modes for Raptor. You've got a novice, an intermediate, and object-oriented. I like to, for the flow Flowcharting 101, I like to use the intermediate mode, and main is going to be there to start with. Now, if I open up an existing project in Raptor, I've already have a program I called Add Two Numbers program. I'm going to take an item called answer. Answer is going to be my variable, and I'm going to add 20 and 5 together and put it in answer. Again, you notice that you don't have to do a declaration for answer. Answer is declared on the fly. And as your program runs, one other thing I'm going to show you here is that when it starts here, but when you go down to this symbol to set up answer, it actually establishes right there on your screen. If you look over here on the left, right under your symbols, answer is a memory location and it has the value of 25. That's what I want it to have, isn't it? Yeah, of course. I want that 25 then to be I want the 25 to be displayed on the on my output console. So let's see if that's going to happen. I'm going to use my output symbol. That's got the put included in there. So if I run that symbol and then if I go back and look at the console is in Raptor will stay up most of the time, but you can use it and go up and down with whether it's visible. Here's the master console. And the master console shows 25, which was the output that I wanted. My program runs. This is Raptor. And again, if you haven't ever used Raptor before, I think you'll love it. I love it. It's a great programming tool. And I would encourage you to download it and install it right now. So make sure you do that. All right, now I want you to watch this. What I'm going to do is I'm going to add a symbol to Raptor, and I want to show you how to do this. Actually, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take this symbol. This is the assignment symbol, and I'm going to get rid of it, and then I'm going to add it back. I'm going to add the value of 20 plus 5 and place it into memory location answer. I'm going to show you how to do that, but so I'm just going to repeat this symbol. So the first thing I do is I left click on it and delete it, and then I go over to the symbol chart. Oh, here's the symbol chart, and I choose the assignment symbol. That's this symbol right here. I left click on it and it turns red. Then I come back over to the flow lines, and right above the output symbol, right above this symbol, I'm going to move the pointer over the flow line, and you're going to see it turn into a hand right there. It's a little small hand, but it is a hand. And if I left click on it right there, it's going to add the assignment symbol. Then if I left click the symbol again, it's going to turn red. If I right click on it, I get an option to choose edit, which is what I want. So I go to edit, and then I bring up my edit window that allows me to change the action of what that symbol will do. What I want this symbol to do is I want it to have a memory location of answer, and I want in answer, in that memory location, I want 20 plus 5 to actually be assigned to the memory location answer. When I've added that, I've completed this symbol, and so this symbol is ready to go. Now sometimes a symbol won't fully show you what you have entered until you click over here in the white space area. So I'm going to click one time over here, and it will actually turn the red box off. So I'm going to click right here in the white space area. My symbol is ready to go, and now if I run my program, I should output the results on the master console. Let's see if it does. Program's running, stepping through, and there it is. There's my answer on the master console. It's still working. I added a symbol. Adding a symbol is as simple as choosing the symbol, moving to the flow line, getting the hand symbol, and then left click, and that symbol will be added to your flow lines. Pretty easy. All right, you've seen my demo, so let's take a couple of looks at some of the characteristics and a couple of things more about Raptor. Raptor does not emphasize color in its desktop, in its screenshots. It is just pretty straight. White and blue is what it starts out with. What Raptor does not have strict rules for programming like C++ and Java. In other words, the variable declarations would be an example of that Raptor does not enforce strict rules. What that really means is that if you take a Raptor program and you want to convert it to C++ or Java, it might take you a little bit more effort. But flowcharting is not about coming up with exact code for your programming language. Flowcharting is about understanding your project as you plan it and to get ready to write the code. So there is some reason behind all that you can choose Raptor and not have any problem. There are no module passing values with that are required for Raptor. Now there are some options there, but it's not required like Flowgorithm is required. So global variables are allowed in Raptor. Now sometimes that's good, sometimes it's not so good, but that is something that's available in Raptor. And to run a project in Raptor, you must have every symbol with some type of code acceptable to Raptor. And if you don't, it won't run, won't do anything. And then you will run in, you can run in stepper mode, but you can also run in full speed mode. And then another thing that's a characteristic about Raptor is that Raptor has more power in what you can do than maybe a tool like Flowgorithm. And for example, arrays has a little more power in Raptor. Files, you can't do files in Flowgorithm, but you can in Raptor. In other words, data files that input data into your program. And Raptor has object-oriented programming techniques, whereas Flowgorithm does not. So these are some different characteristics. It's just different. Flowgorithm is different than Raptor. But the benefits, these are the things that I want you to remember. It handles complex programs. Raptor does. It will not do everything that you can do in your full programming language. Raptor is not meant, nor is Flowgorithm, these flowcharting tools are not meant to be your full programming languages. They're meant to help you get ready to write your program. Another thing that's a benefit of Raptor, if you like to use global variables in demonstrating some things, actually it just makes things a little bit easier in the beginning. You can use global variables, but global variables aren't always a good idea. So we'll talk more about that as you get fully into programming. The Raptor is a little more free format in its coding. In other words, it's not as strict as a flowcharting tool like Flowgorithm, but you think about it, your strictness comes out when you get to the actual programming language itself. For example, C++ is very strict. Java is almost equally as strict, whereas the old original BASIC was not as strict. So there are pluses and minuses, and then whose runs faster and all that. But so modules in Raptor, I would say, are a little bit easier to set up. And then object-oriented programming, which is a more complex start in programming, is available in Raptor. So that's a benefit. And then the fact that you can handle files, one of my favorite things to do is work with data files. And I can't do that in Flowgorithm, but I can in Raptor. So Raptor has that benefit to add to it. The tools are great, and I love them. And that's really all that I have right now. But I do want to mention right here that if you like this video and you want to check out the Flowgorithm version of that, let's say you haven't, if you'll go to YouTube and if you'll do a search for Flowcharting 101 starting Flowgorithm, then you'll find my video for Flowgorithm. Now, if you've already seen it, great, you're ready to just keep on going. I would say write some programs. This is Flowcharting 101. Gotta go.